talk to his post-game. Coach, congratulations. Road wins are hard to get, and your team today pulls one out here on the road. Just for your group to find a way to grit one out in the final seconds. Got to be proud of how your group was able to close this one out.
Yeah, and, we've already said this about this team. It's a little bit of a struggle offensively. The pressure really bothers us. 12 turnovers is pretty good against their pressure. But defensively, holding to 39%. That's just going to be how we have to win these games. And the other thing is, we should have won that game by 15. Everybody, we just got to make free throws. Yeah. The points we gave away in the second half on the free throw line, we just can't do if we really want to win. So that has to change for us. And it's hard to help guys with that. It really is. And it's a little bit infectious, and it can be both ways. And it hasn't been in a negative way for us.
Coach, your defensive pressure was different today, and what do you attribute that to?
Just practice, more practice and just trying to have ball pressure above everything else. Everybody else inside the three-point line, but whoever has the ball we've got to have better pressure. We have good athletes. We just need to get up and use them and stop fouling. In both halves, we had 5 fouls before the first time out. We have to guard without fouling. Now today was a little different because of their big kid. He forced most of the fouls on our team. But we've got to do a better job. They just put them on the free throw line way too many times. I'm sure in the first 4 minutes they didn't make a basket in the second half. Yeah, it was all free throws. If we'd stop fouling and guard people, and make free throws, we could have blown this thing wide open. So there's things for us to clean up, but still, it's our first road win, and it feels good. The guys are happy. I've got to get my emotions under control on the bench and the staff a little bit. It's a little wild. But it starts with me.
You were up 11, had a bad close. Unfortunately, played so well for the last 15 minutes of the first half, and that last 36 seconds didn't go the way you wanted. What do you say at halftime? Because you made it looked like you guys went at wit. Kennard Davis on the first catch looked for the first dribble, went at him. Was that the adjustment you made, one of the adjustments at halftime, or were you planning to do that all along? How could you know if Whit was going to play, first of all, because you couldn't practice for 5 days?
Yeah, we had no idea, and he hasn't played in a long time, so we didn't know that he was going to. And, they obviously went to him a ton. Just about everything they ran went through his hands. And we did a better job probably the last 10 minutes of just going on the dribble, just going and rotating and making him get rid of the ball. And that helped us. It forced him to take some shots. And, we're fortunate that Haney didn't shoot the ball well, quite frankly. Because he
had something to do with that.
Yeah, we did. But he had some good looks, too.
Yeah.
And he's a good shooter. And we're pretty fortunate that they didn't shoot it well from three. There's so many things for us to clean up, but we just want to enjoy it. And it did help us this week just to practice. And we have one more week here really to practice and work on things, get our team better, and then we'll play. Then we've got that break. And then when we come back, you got 2 games every week. And so you end up spending more time focus on the opponent than you do yourself. And so these are 2 pretty important weeks for us.
Coach, you brought up how, of course, there's a lot that you want to fix and work on. I don't want to imply that this game was perfect by any stretch of being happy about to win it. But in terms of the closing of the first half and then the closing of the game, what are going to be the biggest teaching points for
the
your
first
guys?
half, we have the ball. We're up 14, and I call a timeout, and we just don't take care of the ball. We've got to have guards that just want the ball in the big moments, and we're just struggling with that right now. But we're still very inexperienced. Even if you look at Moo and Jarrett, who are obviously big pieces to what we're doing, those guys are way different roles than what they had last year, and so everybody is still like Sheridan played 7 minutes last year, and all of a sudden he's being thrown into these things and playing a lot of minutes, and so and I think one of the better things we did. For Mayo was take him off the point and just let him do what he does best, which is chase balls and be a hustler. And he doesn't need to be a decision maker. He needs to free himself up to go do what he does best, which is be a good athlete and fly around and make the tough plays. I thought he did a good job today. And so it just we're going to struggle with the guard spot this year. We just are. And, our guards are going to grow, but pressure's always going to be a little bit of a problem for us, and we got to get that figured out.
Coach, there's one aspect that goes along with that. Again, I've been around this program for 3 decades. You guys are so good in transition. And you would think, with the things you just said, and I agree with all of them, we're seeing it. But what gives? I mean, you guys are so good when you pull that rebound down and you go the other way.
Yeah.
You get and that's where stats are so misleading. It says you had 6 fast break points. You had 6 in the first 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
So
well,
what gives with that?
I don't know. All of our guys are decent ball handlers when they're aggressive. But when you start to get pressure, what happens is you don't become aggressive, you become careful. And very few guys are good ball handlers when they're careful.
You're right.
Like, when I played, I was one because I was always a careful guy. I was never trying to go by people. But most of these guys are aggressive players, and when they're trying to be careful, Kennard is not a good ball handler if he's just trying to take care of the ball. But if he's going to rip and try to go by you, he's going to knock you over. He's going to go after you. Ollie's the same way. I think Sheridan's the same way. I know that Mayo's the same way. We just don't have that ball handler that is just is slick with the ball and can keep pressure off of them and get us into an offense. And we had a hard time running today, one, because we fouled all the time, and they were shooting free throws, and they were setting their press up, or they scored. And so there were very few times in the second half that we even had a chance to run.
Yeah. You brought up, obviously, I know the fouls are going to be a talking point with the guys. You've been a team this year, Coach Nagy, where your foul rate is not extremely high, so that was a little bit of a anomaly, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But one of the conversations that you had in practice this week that I want to bring up with you and to our fans was you looked at Ollie Diba after one possession. You said, Ollie, if you bring that each and every time, nobody's got a chance.
No, but it's the defensive end, not the offensive end.
The defensive end is what you were getting on him trying to get that to carry over.
Yeah, he was incredible. And when he's turned up, he did it in about the last 30 minutes of the Eastern Kentucky game. Nobody could ball screen him. He was a madman, and that's what we need from him. He'll score just because. But like, if you want to be, we keep telling our guys, if you want to be on the floor, guard for us. Like Davion, if you like be the best defender in the league, and you'll play more. And then when you play, you'll score. But most of the guys are thinking score first, defense second, and so trying to retrain somebody's brain after all these years and what everybody's telling them and where they get all their kudos from, pats on the back, or not because they're a great defender and rebounder, because they score. And so I'm trying to retrain their brain and say to be on the floor, we need you to guard. And then when you're on the floor, you'll score because that's what kids do. But we have 2 or 3 guys that their goal should be Defensive Player of the Year in the league, and could do it. But it takes a high level of commitment to do that.
You going to practice in Davies' gym again all next week?
I don't know. Anywhere where there's 10 feet, the rims are 10 feet, and we'll be fine.
Coach, appreciate the time. Thank you.
Okay.
Nice win, Coach.